delighted to welcome the lady in the flesh, as we say, to the studio this afternoon. Good afternoon, Mary.
Good afternoon, Linda.
It's lovely to see you because it's a very, very long time since you first came to us at Downtown. It must be 12 years ago since we
I
last saw
leave
you.
that to your more reliable memory than mine. Was that when it was?
A long,
yes.
long time
Yeah.
indeed. It's lovely to see you back in Northern Ireland. What have you been doing over the last
Well,
little while?
I have been here within the past 12 months. I have been giving concerts with Alan Tong and his orchestra.
Right.
2 at the Derry Festival in March last year.
Yes.
The one in Limerick, but that of course is not Northern Ireland, in July, and then the Belfast Harbour Festival in September.
Oh, of course, I remember.
So
Yes, that was a wonderful 3-day and such a beautiful venue for it.
Beautiful venue. Yeah.
Can I just ask you, Mary, to sit back a wee bit from the microphone
Right,
because we're
really, right.
popping like
Yes.
mad here.
Okay.
You've got such a rich voice, you see. That's what it is. Yes, that festival. I was unfortunately away at the time, but the lineup for it certainly looked wonderful. You enjoyed that evening at the Harbour
That was
Festival?
great, yeah. To everybody's delight, well, certainly to my delight, the song that seemed to give the greatest enjoyment was "May Aunt Jane."
Very good, Mary.
Well, I sang it with a northern accent, and I explained to the audience, taking my life in my hands, singing it with a northern accent in Belfast. But I know of no other way of singing that song because that's the only
the way you
time I've
learned
ever.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only time I've ever heard it being sung.
Wonderful. Your story, I mean, is so well documented, and we did have a chat at the time you brought out the autobiography, The Scent of the Roses.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I think it was down a telephone line at that time. You seem to have been someone who's been always with us, yet you nip in and out of our lives. Where are you when you're not here and you're not visible to us? You travel the world, didn't you?
Yeah, I do, but I'm cutting down quite drastically on touring now. I prefer to be at home more and to do one-off concerts, which of course one of the one-offs will be the concert at, Elmwood Hall on the 15th of May. And then the next night I have to go scooting off to for a concert in the Lake District.
Where is home to you?
Home is Berkshire. The borders of Berkshire and Hampshire. Nearest town, Newbury.
Oh, are you into the racing at all?
Not at all, no. My father loved racing and was a most avid race goer and race follower and horse lover. But I cannot have been in the genes because I have no, certainly not in mine, no interest whatsoever in horses.
Do you not miss Ireland at all? Would you
Well,
ever
I do
think
go
of-
back. I mean, here I am having this conversation with you. I do go back for my work. I no longer have family apart from my sister, who's in Dublin. She lives in Dublin. But I don't ever make a journey just for the sake of going to Ireland.
You've got
And it's not far away. It's only
an hour away in the plane.
airplane. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the concert which you're giving on the 15th of May, and this morning you were telling everybody in part of a press conference for the Belfast Civic Festival and indeed the World Harp Festival. Have you that harp? Which do you just have one, or do you have many?
No, I
harps?
have 4 actually. But I tend to. Whoops.
Yeah, that's
Just
that
the
old
table
shelf.
coming undone.
Yeah.
I tend to concentrate in usage, in the sense of using the same one all the time. I mean, I've been using this particular Briggs harp, for the past 10 years or so.
Well, where do you go nowadays to get a good harp?
Well, I'm very happy with my 2 Briggs that I bought in the 50s, mid 50s, and since then I've been presented with one here from Northern Ireland, by the way,
Right.
and it's on the cover of the second book, A Song for Ireland. I think it's on the cover of that this CD I've just given you, which is which is the
Yes, indeed, there it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that particular harp is one that was presented to me here, made here and presented to me.
Is it a good one?
Well, I have to admit that I don't use it professionally. It's a larger instrument than the one I normally use, and the one I normally use has a special soft case and a special hard case built for it to withstand any kind of abuse in terms of being mucked about in holes of
travel.
airplanes. So it would mean having another special accident immune case made for it. So I don't. And then I have another one that was made for me in Scotland when I started singing again in the late 70s. And And I've never actually got around to using that. It's a lovely looking thing, but it's sort of standing there half strong with it.
Gathering dust, as they
Well,
say.
right. Yeah. Shouldn't.
When you're travelling, I mean, do you worry from the time you get on the plane and wave goodbye to your harp?
Never.
You don't?
Never.
You just know it's
Not
going to
a
be
thought
there at the other
crosses
end.
my mind that I think,
Honestly.
absolutely.
I'd be in the nerves wondering if it was going to get there.
No, my nerves is to do with my performance, not with the instrument. No. Oh, I never worry. And as I say, it's got a very strong, reliable case, specially built to around its shape, and it's abuse proof.
When you get to a venue for a concert, do you spend some time maybe in the early afternoon? I don't know what the correct term is. Just tuning up, practicing.
Oh well, you have to. Yes, it's subject to great variation depending on the temperature. It can go flat, it can go sharp, and it can in the same day. It can one end of it can go sharp, and the other end can go flat. There's no logic about it. And of course, before you go on, you always practice. You always tune up. Sometimes, depending on if it's a very warm atmosphere in the hall, it can be a bit of a problem. But the audience is prepared for that. I just tell them to play Scrabble.
Talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Right, yes. So it doesn't take long. And 9 times out of 10 nothing happens. You don't
anyway.
have to do any tuning. But then of course you see the other thing, Lynda, is that I'm not totally dependent on the harp in the sense that I use it as an accompanying instrument. I sing, and I always have other musicians with me on my concerts, accompanying me as well for other songs, like for instance, "The Colours of My Life." I do that. Beautiful. So that if anything does go wrong, then I can switch. Yeah. There are times when the organisers of the concert will say, "Please, can we have exclusively voice and harp recital?" In that case, then I wouldn't have my other musicians.
Right.
And in the case, obviously, with this concert coming up here, that's what I will be having.
Well, tell me about this is the World Harp Festival coming to Belfast, and I remember talking to some folks earlier in the year when it was first mentioned that it would come to Belfast. Are you aware of all the sort of historical bits about the harpers being hanged and put out and not allowed to play their music?
Yes, I
dreadful
am.
Carry on, wasn't it?
Yes, because I researched that for this the second book I wrote, which is called A Song for Ireland. It was about Ireland, seen through my songs, and obviously one covered that period of history when Gaelic Ireland that was the end of Gaelic Ireland. This is in 18th century. And the harp was fading out, and this momentous assembly of harp players at the end of 1792 marked they were a dying breed, and to all intents and purposes there was nothing after that. And harps were earlier than that. Harps were harpers were considered to be undesirables. And harps were to be burned. And now, in all fairness, that has to be said that the same obtained in England at the end of after the reign of Elizabeth I. Balladeers and people like that were considered to be not acceptable.
Not quite the thing.
Yeah,
but she did manage, I think, if I remember correctly, to keep her own private little ensemble together of those she wanted to hear.
Well, she would have had would she have had harpers? She certainly would have had lutanists, wouldn't she?
I think she kept it pretty quiet that she had a harper along the way. She didn't let anybody else listen to it, but she liked to.
A little pet harp.
Something like that.
Well, also the other interesting thing is that it was in those days the harp was played with it was wire strung, and it was played with the nails rather than the fingertips. And a tremendous punishment for a harper was to have the nails cut, because it meant, for one thing, he couldn't play, and B, if it was his sole source of income, then it was hard times for him and his family.
Do you take particular care of your hands or your nails?
Oh, I should, but I don't. I mean, I keep the nails short. But I'm also a gardener, and it's terrible to go out to the gloves. You know, any gardener will know this. Go out to the gloves, and then there's a delicate job of getting a weed out from the middle of a loop in something, clump. And so the gloves come off, and once they're off, forget it. They do not go on again.
That's right.
And so the nails get sort of encrusted. But a good old scrub before you were seen in public again.
Not a hand cream.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you say that this concert you're doing as part of the World Harp Festival, it will be yourself. Is that correct? Or is there anyone else appearing with you on that particular evening?
That evening, I'm doing the second half of the concert. And if you give me a moment to cast my eye down.
I noticed that there, on other parts of the festival.
Here, I've got it. Enoch Payek, Korea, in the first half, and Kristen No, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's a Breton, Nogues. So that they're oops, the table again. They're both doing the first half, and then I'm doing the second half.
Have you ever played a Breton harp? Is there such a thing as a Breton harp, or are we just talking because the man comes from that particular area? Is he a Breton, or is the harp a Breton? He is the Breton.
Silence my side here, isn't it?
Doesn't really matter.
I wouldn't like to pretend that I knew that I
Well, that's
know
very honest of
definitely
you.
yes or no.
Very honest
But
of you.
having put the question, I shall now go away and make inquiries.
Give me a ring later, Mary. Now, the highlight, indeed, of all this big 11-day festival is a very special concert, which is to be the 1792 pageant given by the Chieftains, and it will feature music specially written for the bicentenary for the Belfast, or by the Belfast Harpers Assembly. Do you ever play new music, shall we say, for the harp?
Well, now, can we get one thing straight, Lynda? I use it as an accompanying instrument, okay? I have written songs in conjunction with poet friends.
Right.
They write the words, I write the music.
Right. So
That's
totally
that is
unique.
That is new, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So obviously I will have a section at that recital that night, although it's only half a recital. Normally it would be a 2-hour concert. I will have a section of my own stuff, just a few. And that it would be sort of the new. I will also have, we talked a little earlier about Elizabethan music. I love that period. So I will definitely have a section of Elizabethan songs, madrigals.
Your voice lends itself so beautifully to the form of the madrigal.
It seems to be a happy combination, yeah. And then
absolutely.
I will, of course I'll have traditional material. And I'll probably sing my Aunt Jane. and
The
the
middle of
Kitty
all
of
this.
Coleraine, I mean.
If you don't sing Kitty of Korean, I'm going to walk out. Now that's a deal.
And I'll also throw in a few of the contemporary, what you vaguely call middle of the road material. You know, there's a Canadian songwriter some of whose work I like very, very much. It's called Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, yes.
And I have done 2 or 3 of his. I've recorded a few of his with orchestras, but I have 2 of them I do with the harp. For example, Winter's Night and Pussy Willow Cattails. So they may be included that night.
What a repertoire.
So it's nice to get a
little
good
bit of
mix.
everything.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Right.
Yes.
What about, you also said earlier that you just choose carefully where and how you work these days.
Yes, I up to about a year ago, I invariably toured abroad, mostly North America and Australia, every spring, every autumn, and then in between times. And latterly, I've been going to Australia in the summer, and I now find I prefer to be more at home. So my choices now are for the one-off concerts, just
nice.
as the Elmwood, and then unfortunately the one is the very next night. So that suits me very much better.
Well, it's nice to be in the situation where you can
Yes.
choose to do that instead of having
yes.
to fit in this punishing schedule that some people put themselves through, and then they sort of burn out after a while.
Yeah, well, I've always been very cautious about not overdoing that kind of thing. By and large, it's every second night if I have a tour. But then you have promoters and
getting
managers who
greedy.
and they
Push too hard.
yeah, it's a bit of pressure. So that's all got rid of.
Good, good.
Yeah.
We played My Leg in Love up to the 3 o'clock news there from a new CD, which has, now wait till you hear this, 26 tracks on it.
Good value.
I'm telling you, that must be some sort of a record. If you excuse
Nice
the pun.
yeah. I love puns.
It's wonderful, and some lovely songs on there, like Kitty of Coleraine. She Moved Through the Fair, the Garton Mother's Lullaby. I remember that one from years and years ago. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yes,
Difficult,
all lovely.
but beautiful.
I can remember the days I could have sung it now, but not now.
Before the fags got the better.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Oh.
Well, how recent
But I
is
was going
that?
to say that's not recent. There have been
That's
many more
not.
since then. That came out in 80, either 1 or 82, because it came out of the second book, Song for Ireland.
I
the same
didn't get
title.
that one.
You didn't what?
No, I didn't get that one.
Oh, you're complaining
Well,
now. are you,
yeah.
Lynda?
I have to say something
well,
about
I'll
it.
tell you what, you can have this.
Can I
I'll
keep
go
that
away
one?
and leave this in your pretty little hand.
All right.
Right.
Okay, I'll keep it especially for Kitty.
Right. And
You're still recording. And,
yes,
yeah.
since then, and there's a new video coming out next year. I did one recently. But there have altogether about 23, 24 albums. A lot of the recent ones, all the recent ones would have been in CD as well.
That's right.
So, and then some of them are. I made one in one of the very first one I made was 56. With years married, 56, and that is available still. And then 57 is available in the States only. See, some of my stuff is only available in the States. Right. Some is only available in Australia, right. And some only in Canada. There's an album I did called Recital. It has only come out in Canada. This is several years ago. But recently I've been told that it's coming out now in CD here in England. So that's good news. Yes, but yes, there have been many more since then. It's roughly one a year I do.
Do you notice a difference? I mean, going back to 1956, going in to record something, do you notice much difference going into a recording studio today?
Much simpler in those days.
Really?
Oh, yes. They didn't have the great desks that they have now. See, I have to be careful what I say here because I don't want to knock that side of producing records, but you sometimes wonder, there's a sort of mystique attached to the ability to have these buttons, shifting them up and down and over and going backwards.
You wonder what that's really got to do with it.
Yes, you know.
If the sound is right at the beginning, why can't they just capture
indeed,
that?
Yeah, because I try, even when I'm in my concerts, my aim is to keep tell the sound man, we're aiming at as near to natural sound as possible.
Yes.
And once you establish a level, leave it. Do not interfere. Otherwise, your attempts at variation in dynamics is nullified.
Not lost. Yes, exactly.
And I've often found that has happened. I've found it has happened when I'm doing television, for instance.
Yes, TV always has a difficulty getting the correct
and
sound.
And the loud bits, they soften down. And the soft bits, you've done pianissimo, they bring it up. So everything's
very
leveled.
difficult. Yes.
It's frustrating because you've gone to such trouble to control
your
dynamics.
I know. Yes, I know. Must be annoying.
It is. It's very irritating.
After Belfast and after the other concerts, what's the plans for the rest of this year?
Well, there are negotiations afoot at the moment about Canada in the summer, but again, that would be very minimal in the sense it's not a tour.
Right.
And then they're talking about more concerts in the autumn.
What about holidays? Do you take holidays?
I take holidays when I can. Yes, and when in the time of the touring, I always took a holiday at the end.
Add a holiday on.
Yes, and it was always in some exotic part of the world, because we love the sun and we love the sea. And my husband has gone back to teaching now, so we avail of the school holidays, and we've just come back from Tenerife at Easter.
Did you get good weather there at Easter?
Fabulous, in the 80s, perfect. And earlier we went there at half term, and at Christmas we went, and we've got friends who've got a house in Ibiza, so we're going there this half term now in May.
You little globetrotter, you!
And then we always go to Greece in the summer during the summer holidays.
You lucky lady. Life is good for you at the moment.
Oh, it always is. Thank God, Linda. Yes, I'm very blessed. Well, very blessed life.
I don't know. There's those that would say it's been a very difficult one too.
No life is unmixed, and my whole attitude towards life is a thank you. It's been, there has been the shade as well as the light, but it's a very blessed life. I'm very grateful.
Well, that's very nice to hear you say that. It's been a pleasure to see you back here, and I hope that there will be a full house on Friday the 15th of May at the Elmwood Hall. And remember, if Kitty of Coleraine ain't in the programme, I'll do something awful. Mary, thanks a million for coming along.
Thank you, Linda.
And see you there on the 15th. Thanks for your time today.
Bye-bye.